Imagine a place where laughter once echoed, replaced now by the chilling whispers of the wind, where the sweet scent of cotton candy and popcorn has long since vanished, leaving only the metallic temps of rust, oil, and decay, where screams of joy on roller coasters have turned into silence so heavy it presses against your chest. This is the world of abandoned amusement parks, forgotten kingdoms of fun, where the ghosts of yesterday linger, waiting for someone foolish enough to listen. The time capsules of forgotten joy. When you walk into one of these places, the first thing that hits you isn't just the emptiness, it's the silence. Not ordinary silence, but the kind that feels wrong. Heavy, almost alive. You expect to hear something: children laughing, carnival barkers shouting, rides humming with life, but instead, the wind snakes through broken rides and hollow food stands, carrying whispers that sound too much like voices. Every amusement park once carried the same promise: joy, escape, a place where reality could be suspended for just a day. But time has no mercy, and when the gates close for the last time, those promises dantihust bonies, they rot, they fester, they linger, and sometimes they come back in ways no one can explain. The Ferris wheel that never stopped. There's a story about a park in the Midwest, shut down after a tragic accident in the late 80 segundos. Officially, the owners blamed financial troubles, but locals still whisper about what really happened. They say one summer night, as families packed the park for fireworks, the Ferris wheel malfunctioned. It didn't slow, it didn't stop, it spun faster and faster, shrieking with metal, until bolts snapped and carriages snapped loose, flinging riders into the dark. Dozens died. The park never reopened. But here's the thing: even decades later, people who trespass at night claim the Ferris wheel still moves. Not fast, not violently, just as slow. Groaning rotation, even when there's no wind. And sometimes, if you stand close enough, you can hear screams. Not echoes, fresh screams. One man, a photographer, went there chasing urban legends. He swore he saw silhouettes in the carriages, shapes that weren't there when his camera flashed. But when he tried to leave, he couldn't. Every path circled him back to the Ferris wheel, groaning slowly in the dark. His photos were later found abandoned in his car. He never was. The carousel of broken faces in another forgotten park on the East Coast. The centerpiece was always the carousel. Children loved it. Parents adored its nostalgia, and the painted horses shone brighter than the summer sun. When the park closed, the carousel was left behind, the paint peeling, the wooden figures warped with rot. Yet, anyone who steps inside the rotting pavilion describes the same thing. A faint Calliope tune playing, distant and distorted, though the machine has no power. But the true horror is in the horses. Visitors swear their expressions change. What were once bright, joyful faces twist into snarls, glares, or hollow-eyed stares. One urban explorer swore he saw the horse nearest him open its mouth too wide, far wider than wood should allow, as if trying to bite. Another explorer filmed himself there. The footage shows him circling the ride, describing the warped, eerie beauty. But halfway through, his voice falters. His camera catches a horse turning, ever so slightly, to follow him. Its painted eyes shift, its carved jaw trembles. The video cuts off when he screams. He was never found. The clown in the funhouse, perhaps the most unsettling tales, come from the funhouse. mirrors cracked and warped, holes collapsing into dust, but always the presence of something that feels wrong. One particular park, famous for its clown mascot, kept a funhouse filled with mirrors and animatronics. The park closed in the 90s, but trespassers still find the mascot's figure standing in the corner, grinning eternally with chipped paint and glassy eyes. But here's where it gets disturbing. People claim the clown moves, not in jerky animatronic spurts, but smoothly, like a real person. They describe entering the funhouse, seeing it in one corner, and then turning to find it standing closer. No sound, no movement. Just closer. A group of teenagers once went in as a dare. Only one came back, pale and trembling, unable to explain what happened. All he managed to choke out was, "The mirrors didn't show us. They showed him. Just him. Everywhere." The other three never came back. The silence of the Midway, of course. Not every story ends with violence. Some say the parks themselves are alive in quieter, more sinister ways. On certain nights, trespassers swear they hear the Midway come alive again, laughter echoing faintly, game bells ringing, the smell of popcorn thick in the air. But the booths are empty. The ride stands still, and if you follow the sounds, they lead you in endless circles, always deeper into the park. A woman once described it like this: "It's like the park doesn't want you to leave. It lures you in with everything you want to feel: nostalgia, joy, safety, and once you realize it's wrong, it's too late. You're already lost." Her friends laughed at her for being dramatic. 2 weeks later, she disappeared. Her car was found near the gates of that very park. The keys still in the ignition. The lingering presence. What makes these abandoned parks so terrifying isn't just the rot, or the silence, or the shadows that seem to move when you're not looking. It's the way they cling to life. They're not empty. They're not gone. Every ride, every booth, every cracked game token on the ground is a memory, imprinted so deeply into the earth it refuses to fade. The laughter, the screams, the joy and the terror, it's all still there, replaying endlessly, like a record stuck on repeat. And maybe those who vanished didn't really leave. Maybe they're still there, wandering in the echo of what once was. Or maybe they became part of it, absorbed into the rust and paint, their joyless faces blending into the broken rides. The final warning: so if you ever stumble across one of these forgotten playgrounds of joy, ask yourself, do you really want to step inside? Can you trust the silence? Can you trust the shadows that seem to wait just beyond the gates? Because the truth is, these places never die. They breathe, they hunger, and they remember. And once you walk their cracked pathways, once you hear the faint echo of laughter that isn't there, don't look back. Don't linger, because some rides never stop spinning, some music never stop playing, and some clowns never stop smiling.